Hey, good morning everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. This is Poonam Avasthi, your SST teacher. So, you all are done with your periodical test. So, now we are going to continue with the chapter The Parliamentary Government. Today's topic in this is Lok Sabha. So, let's begin. In the first part of the parliamentary system, we have studied that our country India follows parliamentary system. We have seen the reasons why India opted for this system, and we also have studied about government and its branches. Today we are going to study legislative bodies of Indian legislature. A parliamentary system is a system of government in which the ministers of executive branch are drawn from the legislature and are accountable to that body. Clear? So we have opted for the representative democracy because our country is a diverse country and population has exceeded more than 1 billion. So now it is not possible for all the people to meet at a particular place to discuss issues and take decisions. So we elect our representative who form the government on our behalf. Our parliament consists of the president and the two houses of parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, as the name says, it is house of the people. Why we say that it is house of the people? This is because its members are elected directly by the people. We elect them, so that it is called House of the People. Okay, so we elect our representatives on the basis of universal adult franchise. And now understand composition of Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha can have maximum 552 members. 552 members, out of which 530 members are elected from states and remaining 20 are elected from union territories. Moreover, here the president has the power to nominate 2 members from Anglo-Indian community. So I hope composition is clear, children, that the Lok Sabha cannot have more than 552 members. Out of these, 530 members are elected from the states and 20 members are elected from the union territories. Clear? The President of India can nominate 2 members from Anglo-Indian community. Clear? Now understand eligibility. Who can contest in the Lok Sabha election? So, any person who is a citizen of India and at least of 25 years of age can contest in Lok Sabha election. Clear? The person should not hold any salaried, any profit government job, and the person should not be bankrupt or mentally unsound. These all are the eligibilities to be a member of the Lok Sabha. Okay? Now understand term. What is the duration, what is the term, or we can say tenure for Lok Sabha. Now understand the members of the Lok Sabha are elected for a term of 5 years. Okay? Here, if the party loses its majority, it means if no confidence motion passed, then in this case, the Lok Sabha can dissolve before its term. Okay? On the other hand, in case of an emergency, term of the Lok Sabha can be extended for 1 year. Clear? So there are 2 conditions here which we have studied in the tenure. The general tenure of Lok Sabha is 5 years. Now understand the next thing, which is the procedure for election. Members of the Lok Sabha are elected through the general election. Okay? Elections take place every 5 years, and for this purpose, country India is divided into constituencies. Okay? A constituency is a geographical area represented by a member of parliament. Only one person is elected from each constituencies. Clear? Elections are conducted on the basis of Universal Adult Franchise UAF, means all citizens above 18 years have the right to vote. People cast vote through secret ballot, which are called electronic voting machines, EVM. Okay? Elections in India follow the first past the post electoral system, which means in this a single winner is chosen by virtue of getting more votes than any other representative. After the results are announced, once the results are announced, the leader of the party with maximum number of elected members is invited by the president to form the government. Here, one more important thing to understand: what will happen if no party gets a clear majority? Now understand. If no party gets a clear majority, so two or more parties may together form the government, and this type of government in which two or more parties together form the government is called a coalition government. Okay? And the parties other than the ruling parties constitute the opposition. Fine, beta? So procedure for election is very clear now. Now see the next, the presiding officer, Speaker of Lok Sabha. The House chooses Speaker and Deputy Speaker from among its members. The Speaker presides over the House and maintain discipline. Okay? The Speaker is chosen from the ruling party, but once the person is elected as a Speaker, he would no longer remain as the member of the political party. Clear? The Speaker supervises the proceedings and maintains discipline and order in the House. The Speaker is expected to act in an impartial manner. Okay? Clear that he must act in impartial manner. All the bills and resolutions can only be moved with his permission in the Lok Sabha. Money bills are certified by him only. If there is a tie after voting, he exercises the casting vote to resolve the deadlock. When he is absent from the House, the Deputy Speaker takes over the charge. Okay? Now students, do you know that who was the first Lok Sabha Speaker? So the first Lok Sabha Speaker was Ganesh Vasudev Mavlankar. You know this name with the very popular known name as Dada Saheb. So Dada Saheb Ganesh Vasudev Mavlankar was the first Lok Sabha Speaker. Okay? Now see who is the present Speaker. So present Speaker is Mr. Om Birla. Okay? So this is it in today's concept, beta. We have done all about Lok Sabha and we have done a brief of Speaker. In the next class, we are going to continue with Rajya Sabha and we will do the difference also between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This is it in the concept. Feel free to write your queries in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching, keep learning.